Hello guys, I'll be talking about Proposition 62 today. It is the repeal of the death penalty and what your stance would be on it. Did you know that over 700 inmates right now, just in the state of California alone, are on death penalty row, or on death row? And a predicted 10%, only 10% of them are actually predicted to go through with the death penalty. I'm here to tell you about if you were to vote yes on the proposition that you were voting to repeal the death penalty. If you were to vote no, you're fine with the way it is and you want the death penalty to stay. Now, you should listen to me because I've done extensive research, hours of research on this proposition. Been on EBSCO host about 400 times this past 3 weeks. We've done all the research on scholarly articles and yeah. Now I'm going to talk to you about the origins of the proposition. I'm going to talk to you about the environmental impacts it will have and the economic impacts it will have. Historically dating all the way back to 1608, the death penalty was actually originally a capitalist punishment brought here by Britain. But over thousands of years, it has slowly decreased to only 31 states in our country. It was, unfortunately, it had a bunch of loopholes, did have a bunch of flaws, and that's why it has only decreased to 31 states in our country now. It was authored by the California Supreme Court. Back in 2004, it was brought to the attention that it was like the loopholes such as a 4% error rate when convicting people to death penalty. It had a 4% error rate as in killing innocent people. I think it was around 40 people were, not 40, but 30 people were convicted wrongfully. Now that I've talked to you about the origin of the proposition, I'm going to talk to you about the environmental impact it will have. The environmental impact it will have on us, well, the resources will be heavily increased, such as food, water, and shelter to keep these inmates in prison. It will definitely and the higher need for prisons will definitely be, the need for prisons will be increased because without killing these inmates that deserve the death penalty, will just increase the amount of prisoners, which means we will have to demolition around the environment, which means we'll just have a higher increase for prisons. Now that I've gone over the environmental impact of the proposition, I'll talk to you about the economic impact it will have. The economic impact it will have will put a huge strain on government and private household spending. It will increase the amount of federal and state taxation for. We will have to, all our money will have to go towards these inmates to keep them alive rather than just killing them off, as harsh as that sounds. Now that I've talked to you about the economic impacts of the proposition, I will go over what we talked about today. In conclusion, I talked to you about the origins, the environmental and economic impacts that this proposition will have. I told you that over 700 still in California alone are on death row, and only 10% of the convicted felons are supposed to actually go through with the death penalty.